What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Welcome back to the channel. Those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Nate. I am based out of southeastern Pennsylvania, and I fish every body of water that I can. Today we are at a spot I have never fished before. I have fished this particular creek before, but never in this spot. This spot that I'm currently at now is Ridley Creek in the heart of Ridley Creek State Park. Not sure whether I'll be walking upstream or downstream today. I'm thinking about going upstream. We'll see how it looks. But we're off to an early start today. It's about 6:45 a.m. right now. It is going to be a scorcher today, which is why we are up bright and early. It's going to go up to, the forecast says 97. Well, it will reach 97, I don't know. But with the humidity, it's definitely going to feel like 100 degrees. So that's why we're out here to beat the heat. I'm the first one at the spot. So we're going to get to fishing here. Not sure what we're going to be catching today. Never been to this spot, so I'm not sure what lurks in this particular creek. But we're going to find out. And maybe we'll even find some nice fish today. I don't know. I'm not going into the mindset that we're going to catch anything big, because I did that in my last video when I tried to fish the east branch of the Perkiomen Creek. And we ended up not catching anything super big. Did catch a new species, so be sure to check that video out. But I didn't catch anything super big. So I'm just going into the mindset that anything goes. We'll catch what we can catch, and let's get after it. All right, guys, we're starting off today with the Ultralight combo. I got my Ugly Stik GX2 6-foot medium light Daiwa Ninja 2000 LT reel, 4 pounds monofilament line, and then we got this Leland's trout magnet at the bottom there. Perfect for fishing these small creeks. Nice small imitation, looks like some sort of minnow or water insects, and hopefully it's going to do the trick for us today. Just going to be looking for any deep pools or pockets where anything other than minnows and shiners and darters will be stocked up in, and then we're going to get started casting here. Might be something over there. Let's go try that out. So yesterday I actually went fishing as well. I fished a creek somewhat close to here called the Darby Creek, and I fished a little bit of Little Darby Creek as well. And as I got to the spot, I had realized that I did not have my chest mount with me. I thought I had packed it in the car the night before, but I opened up the trunk and there was no chest mount to be seen. I got home later that day and saw it sitting there on the floor of the living room. So yeah, yesterday I did not get to film a video, and of course it was one of the best fishing sessions I've had recently. Not in terms of size, but in terms of variety. I did catch some decent fish though. I caught 11 different species of fish, and if you want to see what kind of species I caught and the pictures of them, you can check out my Instagram at thevilleoutdoors.yt. I made a post yesterday containing the catches of that fishing session. So the species I caught, it was bluegill, red breast sunfish, green sunfish, largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, fall fish, creek chub, brook trout, swallowtail shiner, cutlips minnow, and last but not least, I caught a new species, number 66 for me, and that being the goldfish. And I also filmed a little release video of the goldfish, which I will insert right here. Well guys, it's not a trout, but it's our first fish of the day and our first ever fish from Ridley State Park, and it is probably the nastiest fish we could have caught. It is none other than the fall fish. Came on the black and blue trout magnet. I tried to fish around this with a spinner, try to get these trout to bite, but of course we get the fall fish. All right, let's go ahead and unhook our fall fish here. Got them right on the top of the mouth. They got very fleshy mouths there. Difficult to get the hook out of. There we go. He is good to go. Let's fish on. Look at the size of that rock bass. It's a nice sized rock bass right there. Second fish of the day, second species of the day. Got the fall fish and now the rock bass on the black and blue trout magnet. There's our rock bass. Fishing these rocks under the bridge, I thought it would be a little more productive. Haven't gotten too many bites, but rock bass is the first product of this particular bridge here. It seems to be that there is a trail coming right down to the bridge, so it's probably an overfished spot. But it's third species of the day coming up here. What do we have here? This was one of the more expected creek species for southeastern Pennsylvania. This is a red breast sunfish right here. He's got a messed up jaw, look at that. His bottom lip is way bigger than the top of his mouth. Very odd looking sunfish right there. Alright guys, time to throw our derpy looking sunfish back. We're just gonna toss him in right here. That is our third species of the day. All three fish we've caught has been a different species each time. Let's see if we can keep that trend going. Maybe catch some trout, bass, something other than what we've already caught. There's another red breast sunfish here. This one is normal looking, does not have that busted up lip that our other fish has. Looks like we're getting into some of the juicier spots here. I'm seeing more and more fish. A lot of it's more so micro species than anything else. I'm seeing some species of shiner that have some pretty vibrant fins. Not sure what those are. It could be just colored up spot fin or satin fin shiners, but we will figure it out later in the day. I just had to play leapfrog over all this brush right here to get to this side of the creek, and now we have some more open water to fish. Not sure what we'll find. Hopefully something decent. All right guys, I stopped for a quick water break and decided that I would not be able to pass this log jam here that's in the creek. I don't know if you guys can see that too well because there's kind of another tree covering it, but it stretches across the whole creek. There's a trail that goes around, but the rest of the creek doesn't look too productive. The sun's getting high. It's beating right down on the creek. The chances of catching something big and cool are decreasing. They're going to be hiding away in the deeper water, and the rest of this creek looks pretty shallow and not too well hidden from the sun. So I decided that I was going to start micro fishing. There's some micro species that I might not have on my list yet, particularly the tessellated darter. I saw a few of those good sized ones too in this creek, so I flipped over a few dead pieces of wood and got all these Nightcrawlers here. Some fat ones. Probably not even going to need this much, but better to have more bait than not. These micro species tend to steal the bait off the Tanago hook pretty easily. So we're going to get rigged up here, get a bait in the water, and hopefully catch something I've never caught before. Alright guys, we are bait rigged up here. Little tiny piece of worm, split shot a little bit above that. And then we just got the Tanago hook tied on with the swivel. She's I was after for. It didn't take very long either. Just had to get the right placement of the bait. Come up here to take some shots because I don't want to lose him. I'll just use him as bait if he passes away. There we go, guys. That is the tessellated darter on the Tanago hook. Species number 67 for me. All right, let's take some shots of this guy. All right, he's unhooked and he's released. Back in the water. He's living. We didn't have to use him as bait. So we are good to go. Species number 67 for me. I see two more darters right in front of me, so I'm going to try and get those ones because those ones are a bit bigger. All right, guys, I just caught one of the bigger ones. Look at that guy. Beautiful fish. Let's go ahead and take a shot and release him. All right, guys, let's unhook our tessellated darter here. It's not too happy. There we go. Little guy's going back in. Off back down to the rocky bottom. For as much insanity I've went through in the past couple of years to try and catch one of these guys, to now have caught two, I just find that pretty crazy. Another beautiful sample, this one a bit smaller than the last one. These things are just all over the place in this creek. All right, guys, let's let this little darter go. Third one of the day. Beautiful little fish. It's cruising back on down to the bottom. Guys, I finally caught another one of these shiners. Let's see what we got here. Possibly a swallowtail shiner. I'm not sure. I'm gonna take a shot of this guy and then I'm gonna let him go. As far as I know, that little guy was a spot tail shiner. It had a spot on its tail that was pretty evident, but I'm not 100% on that. All right, guys, on our way back here. It's getting pretty darn hot out. The GoPro is getting steamy. Burned through that last battery pretty quick. So we're gonna try and pick up the pace here and walk back a little faster. Don't know if I'll fish those deep holes over again or not. I might not. It all depends on what I see. If I see something, then I might cast some bigger lures than what we were using earlier. But that's only if it looks good. If it doesn't, then we're just gonna pass on by because I don't want to get dehydrated out here. I got at least 3 water bottles with me, so I should be good, but just in case. I have caught a new species here. Well, not a new species overall, but a new species for today at least. I believe this is a spot fin shiner, different from the spot tail that we caught earlier, because you can see it has a little bit of a spot on the dorsal fin there. You probably can't see it on camera, but I believe that is what we have hooked here. We're gonna go ahead and release this guy and then get him back in the water. The bigger ones, I don't know if it's colored up or not. I haven't gotten a good look at it. I'm gonna bring it over to the bank so I don't lose this guy, and then we're gonna get a good look at him. So let's bring him over to the bank and see what we got here. All right, guys, there's a shiner there. Not sure if it's a spot fin or not. Didn't really get a good look at the dorsal fin yet, but we're gonna go ahead and drop this guy back in the water and send him off. All right, guys, before we pack it up for the day, I'm gonna fish over a few of the more deeper holes in this creek with this little jerkbait here. This is a Rapala suspending jerkbait. It's gonna imitate those little shiners that we've been catching on the micro hooks, and hopefully these fish will go after it, even though it's midday. It's gonna be tough to get them to bite, but if they do, this should be what they're looking for. So let's see if we can make this work for us real quick before we head back to the car and hide in the air conditioning. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I fished this stretch and up around the bridge for a while with this jerkbait. Didn't get anything to follow it in. Like I said, the sun is high in the sky right now. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. These fish are going to be toast today. It's a scorcher, 97 degrees. It's not 97 yet, but it will be pretty soon, so that's why I'm trying to get out of here. It's not going to be too pleasant to fish in. Wasn't the most successful day as far as big fish go. Honestly, that fall fish that we caught at the beginning of the video was probably the biggest fish of the day, but not a bad day in my book. I'll definitely be back to fish this creek. I'll probably drop in a different section because this section isn't too productive from what I've seen. So I'll probably either walk downstream from where I parked or just go to a different parking spot entirely. I know there's a waterfall around that's supposed to be pretty good, so I might try that spot next time. But yeah, not a bad day. Good variety today. Well, not good, but decent variety today. Caught the fall fish, red breast sunfish, we got rock bass, and then we got some micro species, including the spot tail shiner, the tessellated darter. We got 4 of those, which was really cool. That's a new species for me, number 67 on my life list. And we also caught some possible spot fin shiners. Like I said, I'm not positive on the idea of the shiners. We'll cross-reference just to make sure we got them right, but I'm pretty sure that I got it right. So until next time, this is the Ville Outdoors, and I'll see you guys later.